Whoa, 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 whoa. Welcome back, everyone. It's the daily stream. I didn't actually think we were going to get that on there at one point, but YouTube, you know, they're always doing updates, which is a good thing, right? Keeps the site nice and fresh. They try and update it. They make it more user-friendly on the back end, and they've got a new live studio. Oh, it looks amazing. It's totally mint. And then I'm going live, I've clicked the live button and the wheel's spinning and I'm thinking I'm not live. And then I go back to the old classic page and I am live. So here we are. Enough of my moaning about all of that, folks. We're here, we're live, and hopefully, all is going well now. I hope. Anyway, hopefully. Just taking a look at a couple of things here, make sure I've got this all right. Yes, there we go. Right, we'll get the clown music off, okay? We'll get the clown music off right now. So how y'all doing? A couple of things before we start today, right? Now, this is usually something that I myself forget. If you're in the chat room, you'll see up at the top of the chat room in the top left-hand corner, you've got a probably sign saying top chat. You don't want to be on that, okay? You want to be on live chat. Now, to be honest with you, I really don't know the difference. Why some chats are top and then the other one you have to go live, I have no idea, folks, okay? So if you want to click that first and foremost, that's a good start, right? It's probably a better start than I've had today. And then the next thing I want to make people aware of, and I think some of the mods have been doing this in the chat room, is if you really want to highlight the fact that you're talking to me, as opposed to maybe answering somebody in the chat room or having a laugh and a joke with somebody else, what you do is you type the @ symbol, and then you type the first couple of letters of the person that you're trying to chat to, be it me, be it Stimulate, be it Nana. I see Nana in the chat room today. Now, that has totally made my Friday, because Nana usually can't make it. So we've got Nana, we've got Kristen in there. Hopefully we'll get Nancy as well. And then we've got like the three top mods in the chat. Not that this chat needs much modding, right? But today's going to be a little bit different, folks, because I've been taking a look around. And you know how we've been having a laugh and a joke and, okay, lots of laughs and jokes along the way. It seems to be a slow day for comedy. It really does. But you know me, I won't let you down. I found some stuff that we can definitely get a laugh at. And of course, it's TGIFF. Thank goodness it's Freaky Friday. You like that? I like that. I think that's pretty cool. So we're going to be looking forward towards tonight's Freaky Friday as well. So wherever you are around the world, and I'm going to get you to give your place where you are in a moment a shout out. Not yet, folks, not yet. Because I want to get an indication of where everyone's tuning in from. Because we seem to have such a diverse crew. There are people literally all around the world. I was going to say the four corners of the earth, but that would obviously play into a couple of people's narratives out there. So it's all around the globe, right? All around the hemorrhoid-shaped earth, whatever shape you want to put on it. So in a minute, I'm going to find out where all of you are, and then we're going to get into some really cool stories. And the other day, you may or may not have been here when we had this kind of a live revelation on the show. And the revelation was, I'm having to take my headphone off my ear because Anne's going to be coming home in a minute and I need to hear the door. But the revelation was that, remember I had the show with Geordie Rose from D-Wave, and we often talk about his new company, Sanctuary AI. And the other day on the show, we ended up, I mean, there's Geordie there, right? And see, there's another set reminder for this live stream. This was the other live studio. Ignore that. But I was going to show people his company, Sanctuary, and all these cool robots, okay? And we came to this page here, and it was bizarre, right? Because there's nothing there. Now, this website had originally been like this. They had a kind of creepy landing page. It was like the basement of some garage or some bloody thing. It was creepy, right? Because it really didn't go along with the theme of robotics. And then the website went live and we met Nadia or Nadine. Yeah, it's Nadine the robot. And we could see Suzanne Gilder and Holly Peck and all the other great scientists there doing their thing. It was talking about what it meant to be human and these lifelike robots and all the rest of it. And the other day we find this, right? And then I went to the Twitter and Sanctuary AI Twitter was gone. And at the time I said, right, I'm going to have to message Geordie to find out what the hell's going on here because inevitably this is going to launch like 1,000 conspiracies on the internet. And it already has. I've already seen people saying that there's like really bad shenanigans going on. This has happened, that's happened. But none of them went to the source. And when I started down this road, we used to loosely call ourselves truthers, right? But in recent times, a lot of the antics that go on with creators here on YouTube and people on social media, it'd be more apt to call people liars and clickbaiters, okay? So Geordie finally got back to me, and Geordie was thanking me for asking him, you know, what's going on. And it's nothing exciting, folks. It's nothing exciting at all. You know, trying to create artificial general intelligence and bringing the TV show Westworld to life with human lifelike robots called synths. It's not something you can do overnight. And even when I spoke to Geordie, when I had him on the show, I think he said he was maybe about 5 or 10% along the way to creating an artificial general intelligence. Well, the truth of the matter is, folks, that, you know, Geordie was saying they maybe just went a little bit too early. You know, they were kind of showing all of this amazing technology, all of these robots, but in reality, not that close to rolling them out into the real world. So for that reason, that they've kind of wound back on the public face of this, that they've kind of put it back to being, you know, working behind the scenes until they've got something more that they can show the public. That's all it is. No giant conspiracy. And Geordie, like I said, he thanked me for reaching out and, you know, trying to get the truth on this matter. And I'll keep you up to date with anything that's going on with Sanctuary AI in the future. So that's just an update from the other day, okay? So before we get into anything today, right, we've got 60 people in the chat room right now. Hit like, hit share, get all your friends, get all your contacts on social media, get them over here. It's time we started growing the safe space. Used to be the coffee break, but now it's the KBS safe, excuse me, safe space, okay? Drink a tea. But what I want everyone in the chat room to do is I want you all to say where you're from. It can either be your country, it can be the town. I don't want your address and your phone number, folks. I'm not that bad. I'm not going to go full Zuckerberg on you and start selling your data or anything like that, right? But just want to get an indication of where people are. I mean, you all know where I am, right? I'm in Smart City, Glasgow. So where is everyone around the world? And I want to give a big shout out. I see Queen Goddess. She has emerged into the chat room. We've got Stimulate in there. And then we have got Head, or Heath, not Keith. We've got Jimbo Mac in there. Brett Munson. Jeremy. Billy T from WUV. Wen Wilson. Avatar. Scrolling up again, we got Legend Real, East End of Glasgow, good dude. Seeing our few names. Catherine, great to see you here, Catherine. So now I'm going to scroll down and start seeing where people are from. So we have got Fort Worth, Texas, and that's Michelle. We've got near Chicago, that's TJ. The Bronx, awesome, that's Zindy. So we've got Douglas, Georgia, USA. We've got West by God, Virginia. We have Wimbledon in there. Born in Edinburgh, says Polly, but in Toronto, Canada. And we have Queen Goddess. You're near Halifax in Nova Scotia. I've been to Halifax in Nova Scotia, believe it or not. Went there for one night with the military on the way down to Florida. We stopped off in Canada. Yeah, it was a weird way we went. We went from England up to Iceland, over to Canada, and then down to Florida. Go figure. You don't ask questions when you're in the army. You just get thrown in the back of a transporter and flown for a day and a half to where you're going. So Nova Scotia, beautiful. And it was like a home away from home, obviously. New Scotland, Nova Scotia. And it was all Scotland flags and lion rampants. And I'll never forget that place. So we also have Edinburgh, and that's Julia. Edinburgh, Scotland, loving it. We've got Sid Vitch in there from Norway, Phoenix, Arizona. That's when. We've got Tristan, that's another one from Phoenix. We also have Dead GPK, and he is from Texas. Michael from Sweden, a big shout out to Sweden. Awesome, man. So we've got a bit of a Scandinavian thing going here as well. We got Wichita, Kansas, and Nanny Granny. She is from the tip of Mitt in Michigan. We have Nana, South Mississippi. Melissa from Pennsylvania. Catherine, North Carolina. Alexandros from Pontos, Macedonia. Wow. Cool. Pretty cool. I love it when you find new places and things like that. Not that I didn't know where Macedonia is, but if somebody had said to me, do you think you've got any listeners, viewers in Macedonia? I probably wouldn't have put money on that. We've got Brett in there from Massachusetts. We've got Spectre from McHenry, Illinois, USA. David, Edmonton, and that's in Canada. Another one from Dallas. And King Sweet, great to see you back, King Sweet. Again, apologies for any, I still don't know how you ended up on the naughty step, man. I know you like the royal family and things. I'm only joking, dude. But you are from Texas as well. We also have Austin from Ocala, and that's in Florida. Lovely part of the world. We have got Buster from the Netherlands. I spent an unhealthy amount of time in the Netherlands when I got out the army. That was like my treat to myself. I went and gave myself what should have been a long weekend in Amsterdam, and it turned into like nearly a quarter of a year. I think I was there for about 3, maybe 4 months. Don't even ask me what I got up to over there. What a place. We've got County Durham in England. Stephen, I met some really cool people from County Durham when I was in the army. Great, great guys. And we have Gravesend, and that's the Sooty. We have Mayo, or Mayo, in Ireland. I don't know how to pronounce that. That's really terrible, Scots and the Irish, really close connections, and I don't even know how to pronounce it. So we've got James Ramsey, a fellow Scotsman. Brilliant. Love it. What a Scottish name that is. My good friend. We've got the Jonathan Fuller Project. Check him out on Instagram. That's the guy with all the cool kind of sculptures, of all the scary stuff. And of course, with It Too, the Pennywise coming back into the cinema. Go and check out what Jonathan does. Brilliant stuff. Eddie, Huntington Beach. Nice. We've got Avtar from Swaddling Coat. And Avtar, I apologise for not being back in touch with you yet. Things have been hectic here. As you can tell, this isn't just like some kind of cool voice changer I've got that gives me this huskiness. I'm still dying with this cold, to be honest with you. I'm not dying with it. I'm getting over it. The worst of it's past, but still, we've got Pat Studio there from London, UK. Catherine Redding, California, I think. Yep. We have got, let's see, scrolling down, see if there's any more in here. I think we've pretty much covered all of them. Let's see. Yeah, that's a bit. So I think we can say the majority of people over in the US, but lots of people coming from the UK, people in Europe, Scandinavia, Eastern Europe. Absolutely fantastic. So we've got a pretty diverse and inclusive audience here, right? You know how everything's got to be diverse and inclusive these days, after all. So that's really cool, and I'm really glad that you could all make it here today. Now, this isn't the Kevin Baker Show proper. This isn't what you get over on tfrlive.com every evening. This is just me being me, hanging out with all of you out there. And Kristen says I have to keep my sick germs over there. Absolutely. Don't you worry about that. And my boy, he's finally got over the cold. He's away out to play soccer with his friends, hitting McDonald's. He's probably out sniffing around some young girls. You know what it's like when you're a 17-year-old lad, 6'3", good-looking boy. I'm sure he's probably fighting them off with a stick right now. Lucky little git. And his mum, she's going to be in soon. She's got over the cold as well. So we're going to get right into things now, folks. And I found a weird story to kick things off today, right? Any of you out there Harry Potter fans? Are you? Do you like a bit of Quidditch? a bit of butterbeer, stuff like that. Tell you right now, I've never watched one Harry Potter thing in my damn life. I've got absolutely no time for J.K. Rowling. None at all. She's a despicable character. She's the kind of person that triggers me all the time on Twitter. She's one of these virtue signalers, and she panders to that 1% of people out there that get the platform that propelled them to this place where you would think the whole world is full of SJWs and all these crazies that go about. But really, they're still in the minority, folks. They're not the majority. And the first thing, in fact, I'm going to get to something about that later on in the show, okay? But first up, Harry Potter, right? Kids show, adults love it, all the rest of it. But then I came across a story out of the US where maybe not everything is as it seems with Harry Potter. And this also ties in with the whole kind of cancel culture, getting rid of things that really don't need getting rid of, and people reacting, being outraged by something that really isn't outrageous when you think about it. So what am I talking about? Well, there's a Tennessee Catholic school that is banning Harry Potter books over fears that they may contain actual curses and spells. Now, I had to check today to make sure this wasn't like some kind of satire story, but my good friend Jeremy from a channel on YouTube called The Quartering, I'd noticed that he had covered it the other day as well, and it is actually a thing. Now, I'm going to get into this story in a little moment. It's not a big story, but this is just another example of the craziness going on in the world. You know, banning a kid's book from a school because it may contain hocus pocus and real life spells and stuff like that. Personally, I don't think there's anything too evil about the Harry Potter books. I don't think they need to be kicking it out of schools just yet, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, you know? So let's see what it says here, right? It says, despite the wishes of many readers eagerly awaiting their letters from Hogwarts, the magic of Harry Potter has always been confined to the best-selling books. However, in Nashville, Tennessee, some people fear that this may not be the case. A pastor at a Catholic school, who obviously has far too much time on his hands, in the American state has banned the J.K. Rowling books for students for fear that they might actually contain real spells and curses. Really? Are you kidding me? I mean, come on. Is there like proper black magic stuff in there? Is there like... I'll need to get Armand to check this out for me. He knows more about this kind of thing than me. Like I say, I've never read Harry Potter, but I don't think I need to read it or watch it to realise that this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, okay? So I'm going to be looking at the chat room in a minute to see what your thoughts on this are. But it says Reverend Dan Rehill of St. Edward Catholic School allegedly consulted several exorcists in both the US and Rome to reach this decision. Really? Come on. A clever deception. Local newspaper, The Tennessean, reported that Reverend Rehill wrote in an email, "These books present magic as both good and evil, which is not true, but in fact are a clever deception." Oh, the Harry Potter books are a deception, folks, but not because of this. You do know that there's a really, really good case to be made that J.K. Rowling actually stole the idea for these books, right? And I can back that up because she settled out of court for millions with another author out there. And she's got this lovely little story about how she sat in a cafe in Glasgow and she penned these books. Bullcrap. I'm calling Hogwarts on her story about how all this came about, right? But it says, quote, "The curses and spells used in the books are actually..." Now, you might not be able to hear that there, but that's the door. So I need to go and let Anne in. Give me 2 seconds, folks. I'll be right back. Never fear, Harry Potter is near. Well, for now anyway. Who knows how long that's going to last, right? If they continue with this trend, banning Harry Potter. I've never heard anything so ridiculous in all my life, right? Just because I'm not a fan of Harry Potter, I really do still think it's quite ridiculous to say it's full of magical spells and it's corrupting the minds of the many out there. Okay, but I'll get back to the story here now, folks. I'm sorry about that. You know, the real world, it called. And Anne's just in from work, made her coffee. Balance is resumed in the Baker universe here. So, clever deception, right? That's as far as I got. It says local newspaper, the Tennessean, reported that Rev Rehill wrote in an email, these books present magic as both good and evil, which is not true, but in fact a clever deception. The curses and spells used in the book are actual curses and spells, which when read by a human being risk conjuring evil spirits into the presence of the person reading the text. Right, let me just stop there, right? And I imagine there's a few parents out there watching this right now. And if that's the case, I would imagine Harry Potter has been kind of coming into your life where your child growing up, maybe you took them to watch it in the cinema, maybe you bought them the books, stuff like that. Let me ask you, any of you out there, and be honest now, I mean, did any of your children go full, like, kind of possessed after reading the books or things like that? Did any of them, like, turn into something out of a horror movie? Like, I don't know, The Exorcist? Anything like that? Maybe I'm wrong, okay? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm totally off the mark here. Now, I get it. Stuff coming from Hollywood, stuff like that. It's full of programming, can be very influential in the minds of children. But let's just treat it what we're seeing in this story here. Are the books full of actual curses? Really? I think not. But we'll take a look at the chat room. We'll see. Kristen says, make sure to tag. All right. See, I've seen that there, Kristen. That's what people need to do if they really want to grab my attention. Type and you're going to get the option to put the Kev Baker show there. So it says here, nobody's really answering that yet, but I'll get back to it. It says St. Edward Catholic School teaches children between the ages of pre-kindergarten, 3 years old, up to the 8th grade, which is 14. Now, the superintendent at the school, Rebecca Hamill, said that while the Catholic Church does not have an official position on Harry Potter, the final decision does lie with the pastor. Spells in the Harry Potter series include Imperio, which gives the user control over another person's actions, Avada Kedavra, which kills people, and Wingardium Leviosa, I can't pronounce these things, which makes objects levitate. Now, rightly so, the move has been ridiculed by many on social media, and Jason Cross tweeted, if your child attends this school, pull them out immediately. If the school thinks there are real magic spells in Harry Potter, then it cannot be trusted to teach your children real scholastic skills. Great point, really good point. And Southpaw said, my favourite part of the email is the clarification that the spells are dangerous when read by a human being. Like if an angel or a centaur or an elf or any other kind of creature that can read wishes to check the goblet of fire, that'd be okay. That's what I was thinking, when I read that bit out at the start, because you know how I roll on the streams. I don't read the entire story. I want to give you my raw, real reaction to it. And I was thinking to myself, so, it's all right maybe if an alien reads it out, some kind of animal that's got some reading skills under their wing or something, they can read them out. They're okay to read it, right? But don't let children read Harry Potter. All those pesky wizards and witches out there, these kindergarten kids casting spells. What was happening? I mean, were the parents going to the kindergarten to pick up their 3-year-old only to find that the whole place, everyone's levitating and things like that? Hey, make a really good YouTube video of that. Probably get yourself 1 million hits. Haven't seen it happening. I don't think it's a thing. This is just another example of this ridiculous outrage culture, this cancellation culture that's going on right now. Says here, other bemoaned their lack of success in getting Harry Potter spells to work, given that they were apparently so dangerous that children could learn them from reading the books. I have read the entire series 8 times. I've never been able to get any of the spells to work. What am I doing wrong? I tell you, when did the world get this crazy? So what other kind of kids' books are we going to end up banning now? We're going to ban the BFG or something like that. You know, the Big Friendly Giant. Maybe that's like not very inclusive of people like me that are only like 5 foot tall. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. But what do you think? Harry Potter, evil to the point where it needs to be kind of kicked out of schools? Evil to the point that parents are doing a bad job if they allow their children to be subjected to the hocus pocus and the magic within Harry Potter. You know, it's entertainment, folks. It's a child's book. Why it's got such an adult following, I'm not too sure right enough. I think, Anne, do you like the Harry Potter? No? My mum and my stepdad, they often go on, is it the Harry Potter Express or something, Anne? It's like the steam train out of one of the films or something, and it goes across Scotland, and they often go for a ride on that because it's a nice train. You don't really get steam trains anymore. It goes across a nice part of Scotland. And Rika in the chat room says, outrage culture. Very, very well said. Very well said. Susie says, evil is cunning. I would not recommend this reading for kids. And you see, there's the thing, Susie. There's the thing. Surely this should be down to the parents. You know, the parents have the responsibility to choose what their children see and don't see. And some dude kicking about in a frock who runs to the great people over in the Vatican, you know, these people that are holier than thou and never do any wrong, especially when it comes to children and things like that, right? You know, should they really be dictating to parents and to schools what it is that children are and aren't allowed to see? It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And again, this is one man's view, right? And the majority of people are going to end up having to submit and give in to the minority again. And that brings me to a kind of serious topic on the Kev Baker show. What the hell's that all about? But this ties in, right? Because schools right now, they're the indoctrination centres where all of this is going on. All of this culture kind of training and changing. And it seems to me that this minority is having an effect that is going to really have an impact on the generations to come. And in schools right now, again, the minority dictating to the majority. And in the UK, I came across a tweet that really, really kind of triggered me because it was a video, and I'm going to show you in a moment, but it was a video of a school down in England where they've gone gender neutral with the whole uniform thing, okay? And this is a thing, right? We know it's indoctrination. We know they're trying to really get into the minds of the children, and they're trying to change this minority kind of group that seem to be having such a big effect into the majority. You know, when these children start growing up and then they start having children and they're going to school, within 2 or 3 generations, you can see how all of this is going to become normalized. And who honestly knows where the hell that leaves the world, right? But they're going gender neutral in a school down in England. And this is the kind of thing that really, really, really pisses me off, because I want you to watch this video. I'm not going to turn the sound up because it's just a bunch of kids that are screaming. But a few of the girls, and I take my hat off to these girls decided, no way, we're not wanting to go gender neutral. If we want to wear a skirt to school, we're going to wear a skirt to school, right? So what does the school do? Oh, well, they only go and draft in the police. Take a look at this. Now, bear in mind that we're living in a country over here in the UK where people are getting stabbed left, right, and centre, and you can't find a policeman or policewoman anywhere, right? Yet, here we have a couple of them policing the school gates to make sure these pesky girls who have decided that they want to wear a skirt can't get in. So they've been locked out of their education centre, if you can call it an education centre, for the day, just because they won't bow down and pander to this gender-neutral uniform policy that's not only in this school but been rolled out in so many other schools as well. And why? There'll probably be one or two people at the school, the headmaster, headmistress, a couple of the teachers that will be really, they'll be the SJWs in there. They'll be the ones that came up with this really cool idea. And of course, the majority, you just have to bow down to them, right? Because you don't want to offend these people. Well, God forbid we offend anyone like that, right? But look at it, police stood there enforcing this, and yet probably close to where this is happening, real crime taking place. And this is why I say, when the hell, what happened to the world? What the hell's going on here? And don't worry, folks, we're not going to stay all serious today because I've got some absolutely batshit crazy stuff that we're going to get into in a minute. But I want to get your thoughts on this kind of thing, because on that tweet there, I wrote, people getting stabbed left, right and centre in the UK with seemingly not enough police to fight the problem. But when a bunch of schoolgirls refuse to bow down to a ridiculous gender-neutral rule banning skirts at their woke school, it's enforced by how many cops? Isn't it just mad? Is it me? Am I out of touch? Am I truly that toxic male that I sometimes joke about being? Yeah, Dead says that's crazy. Now, let's see what else they're saying. Somebody says there's nothing wrong with unicorns. All the girls love them. It's fantasy and fun. Let's see. Fred Doe says, school's only problem only produces little robots nowadays. Totally agree with that. Somebody says they homeschool. That's Catherine in there. Really good idea. Really good idea. My friend Joe Joseph, he does that as well. I don't know how that goes over here in the UK. I don't know if that's such a big thing. I don't even know if they really allow you to do it. Do you know if they allow you to do it, Anne? Can you homeschool in the UK? I take it you can do it. You can do it. So you can do it. We don't know anyone that does it though, right? So you do. Is it becoming a thing? Well, that's encouraging then, because Anne's telling me now that more and more people in the UK, they're obviously thinking like me. And I can tell by the chat room, they're thinking like all of you as well. And they're refusing to bow down to this crap. Like I say, imagine 2 or 3 generations of this. God forbid, when we're all gone, rest our souls, when we go on to level 2 of the simulation or whatever happens, What happens when the kids that are being brainwashed like this today become parents, and then their kids go through it, and then one more generation after that, the original kids become the grandparents? Where's the world then? What happens to us then? I don't see how, this sounds really weird, but I don't see how our civilization can continue for generations to come if we continue to remain silent and bow down to this crap. Remember, this isn't the majority. It feels like that on Twitter and Facebook because their voices get amplified and pushed out there more, while people like us get marginalized and we get kicked off of social media because we dare to speak our mind. We dare to point out the obvious. It's a really dangerous trend that we're on, folks, and I'm not the only person talking about this, and I'm far from the best one to talk to this. But I'll go into the chat room, see what people are saying about this. We have got Mannerist saying, yes, that way our kids don't get programmed. The situation, this is from Maureen, the situation shows the nefarious agenda taking away the girls' rights to wear a skirt to school. Exactly. Who cares if somebody wants to wear a skirt to school? Who cares if, people aren't all dressed the same? Were any of the kids, out of a school, let's say there was maybe 500 kids in the school, how many do you think were losing sleep at night and becoming emotionally stressed at the fact that they were having to wear a skirt? It's not many. You'd be lucky if it's 1%. But because of these idiots, these brainwashed fools, and I'm sorry, if calling them idiots offends them, well, tough. Man up, woman up. Know what I mean? Person up, gender up. Got super chat. Awesome.
Love your show. Thanks for all you do. Much love.
Star Dreamer, don't thank me. I thank you. You know, it's because of people like yourself, Star, and all of the people that are watching right now, and all of the people that do support me out there. And I want to give a big shout out to Marty. I don't know if she's in the chat today, but Marty sometimes comes into the chat. And she definitely was a little lifesaver yesterday. Kristen as well. All the other people, you know, Just a Guy, Germanus, all the people that chip in a couple of bucks along the way. You really don't know how much that means. That enables me to, you know, de-stressify myself. I don't need to worry about, you know, financial crap. And I can look into this kind of thing and we can all come together and we can talk about this. I know I'm the only one with the voice right now, but we're looking at creating a Discord server. Now, for any of you out there that don't really know about Discord, stuff like that, it's a really good idea that you start to check it out, because we're going to try and get all of you KBS'ers or KBS'ers or Bakesters or Bakernauts or whatever the hell you want to call yourselves. I don't want you to call yourselves nothing. That's when it starts to become like some kind of cult-like group, and we ain't that. We ain't no echo chamber. And because I want all of you to have a voice as well, we're going to start looking at a Discord server where people can drop links that I can bring up on the show. And maybe once a week, there's a voice service in there as well. If you've got a microphone, you'll have a level playing field with me. You'll get your chance to have your say on stuff I talk about, and you'll have your chance to have a say on things that you're interested in. I want to make it, what a hypocrite I'm going to be here, right? But I want to make it as inclusive of all of you out there as I can. That's why I spend so much time with the chat room as well, because I remember, you know, when I was like just starting out on things, doing the YouTube and that, and the very first time it happened to me, it was Joe Joseph on his show, The Freedom Link, and he mentioned my name, and it sounds really vain, doesn't it? Like, oh, wow, somebody's mentioned my name. But it gives you a buzz. It means that you're being noticed. Your voice has been heard. And all of our voices are equal. So as well as me giving you a shout out in the chat room, I want to be able to give you a chance to talk as well. Myself and Nancy were talking about maybe getting involved in Zoom conversations. I think we can have up to 50 people in there. Point being, folks, the point being is it's not just about me. It's my name on the door, and it's Belle, thank you so much. But like I was saying, it's not just about me, and you might disagree with what I've got to say, and maybe I won't see your comment in the chat room. And just because you disagree doesn't mean that you don't deserve to have a platform and a voice to share your view. So give it a couple of weeks. Baker bots. I like that. Okay, we'll be Baker bots then. Hashtag Baker bots. We'll go with that one just now. We'll definitely come up with something snappier. I really hope. People are saying do that. It's great. Mannerist would love that. And Granny Nanny. I like that name. Kiltsters. I like it. Probably not snappy enough, but we like it. So a lot of people saying they love Discord. Yeah, it's a great system. Rika says, I'm in too many Discord servers already. I don't know if that's a new one or another one, but Bellstar, honestly, thank you so much, because the fact I've talked about this story today, you know I'm not getting monetized, right? I've seen some people saying they were watching ads on the way into the video. That'll be the only ads that appear on this video, because it seems to trigger the algorithm when you dare to speak your mind like this. But this is this whole PC crap thing going on, right? It's this whole PC culture. All the way from Norway, get ready.
Here is a coffee. I'll join the Discord and blow the Norwegian SSP.
Awesome. Oh, hang on now. Now, wait a minute. Sid, is there like a secret space program in Norway. I know you've got that place in Norway where there's the valley and there's strange lights that get seen. I can't remember it off the top of my head. But yeah, once we get into Discord, see, we can talk about anything. Absolutely talk about anything. But thank you very, very much, Sidvich. So then, we've got lots more to get into today. I've already been triggered. Usually I'm the one triggering people. I was the one triggered today. You should see some of the things I rant about at home. Poor Anne and Kevin, they have to put up with me all the time. They're big fans of Marvel, right? And Marvel, it's one of the most woke franchises in the world. And if you don't know what I mean by getting woke, go and check it out, folks. It would take too long for me to explain here, but not only would it take too long, it would trigger me along the way. Let's just say it's this whole PC, SJW, can't be offending anyone culture to the point where men get marginalised and anything with testicles is bad news, okay? Can't be having testicles in this new world that we're moving into. See, I've said testicles 3 times now. Definitely demonetised. But we've got lots more to get into, like I said. And this has got to be probably one of the funnier terms that I've come across in recent times. We're going to get into this term in a minute. But can you imagine growing up today? I was saying about my son, right? He's away out. He tells me he's away out playing football, but 6'3", good-looking lad, nice mop of hair. I see all the girls looking at him, right? But imagine growing up today, right? Wow. Honestly, folks. Honestly. Well, Sidvich, before I get into this, Sidvich says, okay, that's Hastelin. I hope I pronounced that right, Valley. But now we use Adoya Space Center. Google it. Andoya. I've got that wrote down, man. Space Center. We might even look at that today because, like I say, it's been a slow comedy day. So we need stuff to look at. But yeah, imagine growing up nowadays. You know, it used to be when I was growing up, you'd go to like the school disco, the school dance, and you'd have the girls on one side, the boys on the other, and everyone would be too nervous to go and ask the one that they liked to have a dance and things like that. But it was cool, right? Eventually you'd pluck up the courage to go and speak to that girl you've always liked, and maybe you'd take her out for a burger or something like that. And, you know, the old courting process, the way it used to be. Imagine it now, though, right? You've got all of the pressure that goes on from social media, social engineering. You've got all of these new genders and identification labels that everyone wants to put on themselves. You've got all of these different kind of lifestyle choices. It must be a bloody minefield out there trying to find yourself a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever you're into, a person friend. I don't know what you call it anymore, right? And then you've got all of these dating sites, right? Philip, you can say that here anytime you want. Just don't say it out loud down in Australia, because you know if you say it down in Australia, you're running the risk of getting to jail, right? So yeah, we've got all of this pressure, right? Well, I honestly would hate to be young now. Not that I'm not young anyway, right? I mean, look at me. I barely look a day over 25, right? Yeah, something like that. But I found something today that just, it made me laugh. Because all of these dating sites that are already out there, but there's a new one. There's a new one now, folks. And I tell you what, if I was in the dating game, and I'm not, thank goodness I'm not, okay? Can I ask you, like, if you were single, would you really, really trust somebody like Mark Zuckerberg to take care of your romantic kind of ties? Facebook launching its first dating service to help you secretly find love. Well, already before we even get into this, that headline, there's nothing secret about anything you do on Facebook, folks. Absolutely nothing. And listen, I'm not knocking anybody who's met their partner or gone on to have some kind of relationship with somebody that they've met online. That's not for me to kind of judge. Not at all. But with everything we know about Facebook, right? Everything we know about how they treat our data on the back end of that website, if anybody really is keen to use Facebook as a dating service, this new dating thing that they've come up with, I tell you, you deserve everything you get. You truly, truly do. So, are you looking for a Zuck buddy? Oh, I've been dying to say that for the full stream. Anyone out there looking for a casual Zuck buddy? No? Come on. It's the obvious one, right? I think this article even calls it that. But let's take a look at what it's saying here, right? It does, like, Facebook has launched a dating service and we're too childish to make the obvious joke about Zuck buddies. I'm not too, what does it say? And we're too childish not to make, that's okay. I thought it was going to say that we're not making that joke. Surely everyone is making that joke, right? Surely. It's just obvious. It's a play on words. And when you've got a name like Zuckerberg and you're talking about looking for somebody for a Zuck, then you know where I'm coming from, right? So it says here, like I say, the social network announced the new service in a blog spot published this afternoon. It said dating will be separate opt-in experience you will have to enable. Well, that's nice to know. Cheers for that, Mark. That's awfully nice of you. Once you indicated you're down to date, you'll be thrown into the usual Tinder-style maelstrom of hot, lukewarm, and downright chilly prospective partners. Facebook will never match you with people you're already friends with and will not publicise your activity, meaning you can canoodle away without fear of your secrets being exposed. Really? After everything we learnt about Cambridge Analytica? And listen, that wasn't a scandal, because in reality, we should have all known what was happening to our data on the back end at Facebook. It's part of their business model. That's how somebody like Zuck there, he is like a multi-billionaire. It's not from the ads they run on there. You never get anything for free in this world, especially when it comes to the internet. Anything you can get for free, it means they're garnishing information from you on the back end so that they can sell it to third parties for pennies a profile. You think, well, if they're selling it for pennies, Kev, they can't be making much money. Oh, they can, because they can take bundles of 100,000 profiles, 100, maybe 100 million profiles, and then you start adding up all those pennies and cents per profile, and you can see how that generates the big bucks, right? Or the big Zucks when you're looking for Zuck buddies. I'm going to have to keep using Zuck buddies. I love that. Hopefully the algorithm realizes I'm saying Zuck buddy, okay? It says here, Erin Egan, VP and Chief Privacy Officer, said, people use Facebook to connect with friends and meet new ones, and many people already use Facebook to start relationships. That's why we built Facebook dating, to help people find people that they may want to date. What happened with going out into the real world? You know, maybe, like, I don't know, call me.
This was us lol. If you Google on UFO, it was all over the net, haha, even on Secure Team 10, D.
Oh, Secure Team 10. Oh, I'm not a fan of them. I'm going to Google it, dude. We're going to bring it up. I've got it written down here. Like, don't know if you can see that, but it's up the top of that bit of paper there. And Doya Space Center. I've got it written down. We're good to go. My coffee stains are all over the page. Did you see that there, though? That was mainly a blank sheet of paper. People honestly think I'm lying when I say I don't script anything. I don't script anything. If I tried to be something I'm not, i.e. reading out news and preparing things and structuring it all, I'd fall flat on my face. You people would hate this show. I would hate this show. I couldn't do it. So yeah, I've got Friday stream. I've written down an update on Sanctuary and Andoya Space Center. That's my whack. I've got a couple of tabs open. That's how I roll, folks. People say, well, that's pretty unprofessional, Kev. Good. I don't want to be professional. I'm just me. So it says here, privacy. Excuse me, folks. Excuse me. Tail end of the cold. Apologies if that was kind of gross. The old lung butter getting shifted there. Privacy is particularly important when it comes to dating. So we consulted with experts in privacy. Privacy on Facebook. Get a grip of yourself. And consumer protection and embedded privacy protections into the core of Facebook dating. Come on, Zuckerberg. Do you honestly think people have any expectation of privacy on your site anymore? I don't know, maybe some of you out there, Fred. I know Fred, he's got me on Facebook. And Fred, if you go to my Facebook feed, you'll see I rarely post anything anymore on there, right? I shared a memory today. It was a show I done with Anthony Patch a couple of years ago. And I was thanking Anthony for the work we'd done together and, you know, the fact that I learned so much from him when it comes to the world of technology, stuff like that. But aside from that, usually I just tell people who's coming on my show. Last night I had young Brendan Drackler on the show. No doubt that's going to trigger people because we were talking about science or climate science from a scientist's point of view. But as for Facebook, I personally think it should be a dying trend. I use it for the messenger service. I use it for playing Scrabble with my mum. I know, I'm a mummy's boy. But aside from that, I could give up Facebook tomorrow, but the only reason I don't is because I know I've got a lot of people out there that follow me on Facebook absolutely only to find out what's happening on the Kev Baker show. So that's why I keep it open. But when it comes to like sharing your most intimate kind of thoughts and secrets and now looking for Zuck buddies on there, not that people weren't already doing that already, you know, it's absolutely toxic. I really, really hate it. So let me dive into the chat room. Sidvich, Navy man to Navy man, that's how we roll. No wet paper. Were you in the Navy, Sidvich? That's pretty cool. Now, you see, Sid, I need to kind of update it a little bit because when I was in Norway with the Royal Marines, I was actually from the Army, the Royal Corps of Signals. And this is a funny story. People will think that's terrible. You got to put yourself in the situation. You're in the military, right? So you've got the Marines, the Royal Marines. They're crack troops. They're like probably one step down from our like Special Air Service, the SAS, our Special Forces. They're trained killers, right? There's no other way to put it. Really, really hard guys. And because I turned up there, coming from the Army, they had green berets, okay? That's what the Royal Marines wear. And me, I had a blue beret. So I had all of these Marines, right? All of these hairy-assed killer Marines. Me, 5 foot nothing, turning up there from an entirely different branch of the military. And do you know what they used to call me, folks? Because I had a different colour of hat. Do you know what they used to call me? A crap hat. Imagine it. Imagine calling me a crap hat. But it's all banter, right? And you know what I'm like. I took it in my stride, we had a laugh with it. And bear in mind, I'm only like 5 foot nothing, and these guys are all working out, they're pumping iron, they look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and snap a man's neck without even thinking about it, right? We're all out drinking one night, as you do. There's not a lot else to do in Norway. And they called me a crap hat, like I say. So I'm out there, I'm getting drunk with a few of them, and they had me in like the sleeping quarters with the chefs. So it was a nightmare. They were from the Army as well, by the way, right? So the chefs, they were getting up at like 4 a.m. It was a nightmare. But the funny story was, because they called me a crap hat, right? And I know people are going to think, but that's so cruel, that's bullying. It's not. It's the military. Crap hat boy here came home one night, absolutely steaming drunk, blind drunk, bouncing off the walls, about to get into my bed. And I'm looking at my bed and I'm thinking, what the hell's that? And I could hear laughing, like from some of the rooms next to us and things. Do you know what they had done to my beret, to my crap hat? They had crapped in my hat. Literally crapped in my hat, and a big pile of steaming brown stuff was sitting in my berry on my bed. And you know what Kev done? 5 foot nothing, 50 Marines in the block. I decided to task them all out for a fight. Not a good move. Now, thankfully, none of them took me up on the offer because they could have snapped me like a twig. But see, when I woke up the next morning, obviously the hat got thrown out, could get another one, that's cool. It's the kind of shenanigans dudes get up to in the military, right? But see, when I remembered I'd been like at the top of my voice asking these hairy-ass Marines out for a fight, I'm thinking to myself, I've got like 2.5 months left in country with these people. How on earth's name am I going to get through this? So I'm walking very sheepishly to go for my breakfast. And the minute I walked into like the mess hall, or the galley as they call it, because they're all Navy guys, it just burst out into like raucous laughter, rounds of applause. And you know, they actually had a new level of respect for me. Even though they could have kicked my ass, 70 shades of blue, because I'd stood up to them and said, right, who done that? I'm going to take you on in that. They actually had a whole new level of respect for me. And I went on to have an absolutely fabulous time over there. Fabulous time. So yeah, I don't know why I got into that story, right? But what's saying here? I thought you were going to say you put the cap on. Oh, hell no. Hell no. I was ready to go. I was like, Scrappy, do. I was like, come on. I swear I'm going to do whoever done this, man. I just got told to go back to my bed. And then, like I say, the next day, it probably made the deployment. It was one of the funniest episodes that we had over there. Bit boring out there in Norway at times, but you find ways of entertaining yourself, and that was one of them. So yeah, funny story, gross story, I get it, but you know me, probably too honest for my own good. So that was one of my adventures in Norway. Can't tell you about any of my other adventures in Norway because I would have to make it probably 18 plus, and it wouldn't be entertaining. It might be, but it wouldn't be. But Sidvich says, okay, our school kids chase American soldiers out with snowballs. Norwegian pride. Take it, and you're one of us. Brilliant. So, is there anybody out there in the chat room that would do a bit of Facebook dating? And listen, I get it. I get it. Studies in the US have said that people are more lonely than they've ever been before. I don't know how that is in a world with 7.5 billion. Again, it's the social engineering, right? We've got all of these contacts around the world on social media, but in the real world, physical people, it's getting harder and harder, it would seem, for people to form real, lasting relationships. And it makes you wonder, does it get to the point where, this is eventually how partnerships will be made? How romantic partnerships will be made? Maybe it's going to be an AI that kind of pairs people up together, because we're losing communication skills, folks. We are. And that's not me saying that. Just take a look around you when you go out. Everyone's on their mobile. Even couples that are going out for romantic dinners. Take a look at them. They're not talking. They're not, brushing hands when they're passing the salt over, and you get that butterflies going, that old kind of thing. None of that going on. No, they're too busy scrolling down Facebook and Twitter. So where does this go a couple of generations from now? Do we literally end up in a database where maybe with social credit scoring, some of us are allowed to, have romantic liaisons, and when we are, it won't be us that's picking, obviously, because we won't have the knowledge, the know-how, how to go and chat somebody up. We won't have the confidence, to eye somebody up and go through the usual process that we all went through when we were looking for girlfriends and boyfriends. Is it going to be the AI that churns out a couple of names? There you go. There's a magic ticket. I don't know where this all ends up, folks. I don't. And I know this isn't as funny as the other streams we've had this week, but we're going to have a mixed bag here on the safe space, or the not so safe space, as it turns out to be. I really hope that some of these SJWs and people out there see that we've got the KBS SAFE SPACE, and they think to themselves, oh, there's somebody on YouTube that's one of us. We can go there, we can be safe. Nobody will say anything offensive. But we'll all just sing Kumbaya, and we'll toe the party line. We'll get outraged at Harry Potter together. Oh, fuck no. That ain't gonna happen here, folks. Maybe we can lure some in. Not that we'd be cruel to them or anything, right? But it says here, Aunt Nanny Granny said, I'd use it, Kev, but I don't think the hubby would like it. Boom, boom. Love it. Love it. And for people out there, you might see that Aunt Nanny Granny's name is in green. You'll see that another couple of people in there are in green as well. Susie Lewis. She says, my son was in the Welsh Guards, the chocolate soldiers, Kev. Like I was saying yesterday, a lot of time for the Welsh. A lot of time for the Welsh. Absolutely lovely people, man. And again, there'll be assholes as well. You get assholes everywhere, but I tend to find Welsh pretty cool. Brian, his name's in green. If you want your name in green, that means you have to become a member of the channel. You don't have to be, but what it opens up to you is a whole new set of emojis that I'm sure the members will start throwing about now. We've got the smoking Elon. We've got my personal favourite that I'll put in there right now. Everyone can guess who my personal favourite is, right? Yes, you guessed it. We've got the Wookiee. We have got Yoda. We've got the Bigfoot. We got the smoking Elon. We have got Mr. Gay Frogs himself. We also have, Braveheart, being a Scotsman, the one and only Popeye, and of course, brown chicken, brown cow. It's not brown chickens, it's blue chickens. Yay, there we go. So like I say, folks, if you want to become a member of the channel, that is all you have to do. But we're staying on the dating theme. There was a reason I went down this avenue today. There really was. And while we get ready for the next dating-related story, there's going to be a shift of gears here, folks. This is where we start to get into the sublimely ridiculous world of when the hell did things like this begin to happen, okay? And if you are participating in the present-day dating culture as it is, let me warn you now, boys. This is a message to my fellow men out there. You had best watch what you're getting up to. Oh, man, you better be careful, because see if you don't treat your ladies right in this current climate today, there's going to be big trouble. Oh, huge trouble. It's going to get bloody. It's going to get horrible. But I'm telling you, you better treat them right. And if you're not going to treat them right, you had at least better make sure you don't get caught. Because as our next story is going to demonstrate, this isn't the kind of thing that makes you go woo on a Freaky Friday. This is the kind of thing that makes you go, ooh. I'll be back in 30 seconds. I'm going to leave you on that cliffhanger. Don't go anywhere. Ah, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Things that make you go, ooh. So before we get to that story, though, let me jump back into the chat room. Let's see what people are saying. What's it like dating nowadays, folks? You know, it's been what? 18 years since 19 years since I was playing the dating game? Thank goodness, I say. I couldn't handle this new current climate of dating that goes on out there. Really couldn't. And you know, with a face like this, I'm definitely not Tinder friendly, right? I don't know what way you swipe to get rid of somebody, but that'd be the way they swipe when they come across this coupon. That is for sure. But of course, you know, if I was on that website, I'm good with Photoshop, right? Can't promise the ladies what they see is what they're going to get when we go for that drink. But then again, guys, you have to be very, very careful nowadays. And of course, there's this trend now with mobile phones and recording devices becoming smaller and smaller and more convenient all the time. And this current mindset where everyone thinks they're a reality TV star and they want to make those really snappy and kind of cool videos. And maybe when they get to know somebody a little bitty better, they want to make their own little romantic videos, right? I have got a cautionary tale for all you guys out there who may have filmed one of these rather risque kind of videos with your other half. I know some of you have done it. That's cool. I'm not judging. Hey, if you've got a partner that's up for being filmed when you're getting your nasty on, have at it. Go for it. But I tell you guys, be very, very careful, because a woman scorned is a dangerous, dangerous thing. It's like an animal you can't control. And this next story, guys, get ready to hold on to your jubilee bits, because this is going to make you go, oh, there's going to be people looking away from the screen. There's going to be people squirming in their chair. There might even be people hurriedly deleting videos from their phone, because wait till you see what happened to one unlucky bugger out there. My word. But my question is, before we even go there, I want you to think about this. Did he deserve everything he got? Oh. A woman cuts off her lover's manly bit after he shared a video of them having sex with pals. Zing, ouch, doom. Wait till we get into this, folks. Why people would really feel the need to film themselves doing this, I get it. Maybe if you're with somebody long term and you really trust them and you want to get a little bit of adventurous, spice things up in the bedroom. I get it. Hey, I'm no prude. In fact, I'm far from prude. But you've always got to bear in mind, guys. Always bear in mind. Shit like this comes back to bite you. And shit like this comes back to bite this boy real, real hard. Because like I say, woman cuts off her lover's manly bit after she shared a video of them having sex with pals. When did he think it would be a good idea to share this video? I think he deserves everything he got, but that's just me. Call me old-fashioned, but, you do this sort of thing, there's going to be payback. Now, did he deserve this? That's for everyone else to make their own mind up on. I don't know. Being a man, I don't think he deserved this. However, the ladies out there will be thinking that this girl here, absolutely fantastic. Oh, Sidvich has become another sponsor on the channel. Anne. Oh, Anne's laughing. She knows what this means. Pass me up your sparkly trainer, Anne. Please. I'm going to show you what the new emoji is going to be, folks. People are thinking, what new emoji? You see, in my house, Anne doesn't have a set of garden shears like this lady, no. She has a sparkly trainer. The sparkly trainer has often been lobbed at Kev during shows, on and off camera. She does it not to entertain the audience, she does it to keep me in check, okay? And Anne, as much as I love her, she's my biggest critic. And I tell you what, right? Even if this show started to go astronomically big, I can rely on Anne to keep me well grounded. So grounded that I get slapped with a shoe from time to time to keep me in my place. You see, I have no idea what would happen, right? in this hypothetical... Oh, you even got... You almost seen Anne. She's real, see? I don't know what would happen, hypothetically, right? If myself and Anne were to make one of these happy fun time, me love you, long time $5 videos, right? And if I was to go and share it about with people, I think this dude here, actually, I think I would get it worse. I truly do think I would get it worse. So we need one more member, folks, and the new emoji, the shoe that Kev gets hit with all the time. Marinus in the chat room, you go, Anne, exactly. One Polly Nation, love you, Polly. I'll see you later on in the Wookiee Cave. Keep your eyes open for a Freaky Friday simulcast. But let's take a look here at what this princess done to this absolute clown. Brenda, I think you're going to be the star of this show. A woman who allegedly cut off her boyfriend's penis with a pair of scissors was taking revenge after he shared a video of them having sex, according to reports. So it says here, Brenda Baratini, 27, was arrested in November 2017 in the city of Cordoba, Argentina, for hacking away at her lover's penis. Marinus says, hide the shoes. Dude, if I could. Kristen, she's loving it. Good on you, Anne. You see, you're probably the star of this show, Anne, and you're not even in the show. See, I must be doing it wrong. I must be doing it wrong, folks, I'm telling you. But it says here, the 40-year-old man named Sergio F. I think his name should be Sergio Ballless. I don't know. It sounds right. Was reportedly married at the time of the incident, but had been having an affair with Baratini. Well, he wasn't exactly a guy with the most scruples to start with anyway, right? So at this point, I'm thinking, well, you know, big man, Sergio Ballless, you probably deserved the snip. You really, really did. He told the court, we started having sex, and she told me she was going to give me a little surprise. She put a mask on me, a velvet one. You can picture him, can't you? He's lying there thinking, oh man, I'm the cat that's got the cream. I've got my cake and I'm about to... Oh, you better believe it. Yeah, exactly. Says after that, she told me to guess what she was touching me with. It's getting risky now, right? She also wanted to tie me up, but I didn't want her to. All joking aside, and I'm risking a shoe here. If this girl asked me, do you want tied up? I'd be tied up. I'd put the blindfold on. Yep, see, I'm getting whacked. Right? So we come, oh, there's the scissors in question. That's not scissors, that's garden shears. Damn! What kind of tackle did this guy have? He must have been packing a punch, right? So she started to perform. There we go. Oh, no, you can't start super chatting for me to get slapped.
What you mean
again.
a £5 chat? What's that? Slap him game.
No, people are paying you to slap me, Anne. We can't start this. That's ridiculous. This is not going to be a thing, folks. We're not getting into this silly game where people can pay money for me to get slapped. Are we? Really? Surely not, right? So it says here, she started to perform oral sex on me. Suddenly I felt something. She wanted to kill me in that second. I felt like I was going to die. I didn't even know that she had cut me. I couldn't see anything. I tried to get up. I pulled up my trousers and instinctively grabbed my mobile phone to call an ambulance. I wanted to leave, and she started to insult me. She grabbed my t-shirt, my hair. She wouldn't let me leave. Her ex-boyfriend, Gonzalo Rodriguez, who she was reportedly still with at the time, said he received a call on the night of the incident from a neighbour saying that your girlfriend has been raped. Now, oh, look at the mess, folks. Dearie me. I tell you, this is more dangerous than any Harry Potter book, right? Rodriguez rushed to her house before the emergency services arrived and found a river of blood. He told the court she was semi-nude. I don't know if she had her bra on, but she was in her knickers. I asked her what had happened, and she said he had come to look for a battery and that he had raped her. I shouted at Sergio, what did you do? He didn't answer. I went back to Brenda, and she was waiting for me with a scalpel, or a sharp object. She said to me, kill him, kill that son of a bitch. She was initially charged with causing severe injuries, but prosecutors have now successfully convinced a court to change the charge to attempted homicide after his testimony. Now, it doesn't get into the fact that he was sharing videos and things of that on there, but man, oh man, wow, that is not so good. Not so good at all. But there's a tale. There's a lesson to be learned here, blokes, my fellow brethren, my fellow men out there. Never, never, never piss off a woman when she's gonna be able to do this to you. You know, if you've got that trust between you and a girl, right, and you've got like this kind of thing going on, don't betray that trust. Don't betray it, because this is the kind of thing that's inevitably going to happen. Maybe she went a bit excessive, right? But at the same time, she was dating a married dude, right? So she obviously knew the guy had no scruples anyway. So really, really, are both parties to blame here? Did the guy deserve what he got? I don't know. But there's another cautionary tale about this whole thing. Said Vitch again.
How about this then? Peace and love for all around the globe and all the ETs. Don't forget the aliens.
Never forget the aliens. Always inclusive of the aliens. Absolutely always inclusive of the aliens. But we had a laugh with that story. It's not something that probably you should laugh at, but I'm inappropriate. I'm the kind of guy that likes inappropriate stuff. I don't know. If you didn't laugh at this kind of thing, I'd be squirming in the chair. But this is on to a more serious note now, right? Because, yes, there is this trend nowadays for couples or threes or fours, or I don't know what goes on in the bedroom with some people anymore, but they film it, okay? Mobile phones, etc., etc., a few drinks, few joints, you know. Your inhibitions kind of go out the window. Things get filmed. Now, you've got to remember, folks, much like social media and things like that, these things can come back to haunt you, and you can't trust everyone out there. In fact, you mustn't trust people with this kind of material. And the next story comes from Sputnik. And of course, Sputnik, that's where Lee Stranahan works. I've had him on the show. It's a Russian website. But this story here, it kind of disgusted me. There's nothing grotesque here, but again, it's a cautionary tale. And, you know, maybe, again, for parents out there, maybe your kids are growing up, maybe they're the same age as Kevin, 17, 18. I think they should be made aware of this, right? Because with this trend of social media and wanting to film everything and put it online, etc., you know, you got to be very, very careful, folks. Really careful. Because this headline here, this really is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. A UK woman was embarrassed and violated to discover her private videos on Pornhub's top 10 charts. Now, Pornhub, obviously one of the biggest porn sites in the world, and I've only seen the headline so far. There's no pictures, there's nothing like that, folks. There's nothing like absolutely 18 plus or anything here. It's a story. But it says Pornhub was reportedly unresponsive after a British woman asked it to take down the videos that she made with a former partner before breaking up with him several years ago. It says a UK woman has admitted in an interview with the BBC that she felt shocked and embarrassed and violated after a series of videos featured her and her partner emerged on the online porn giant Pornhub without her consent. Now, aside from the fact that obviously, the person who posted the videos has a huge part to play in this story and is ultimately responsible for this heinous act. It's absolutely what an abuse of trust. Even if they had split up and things like that, right? I mean, I wouldn't even think about anything like this, say you had a breakup with somebody, this would be the last kind of thing from my mind. But this is why I'm saying, with kids growing up today, teenagers and things, I think we've got a responsibility to try and point out, why things could be a bad idea. But my point is, websites like this have an equal responsibility because they are allowing people to upload videos like this without the consent of the people involved. Now, I think that makes them liable for, I would say, probably some kind of prosecution in my world. I think they are just as guilty as the arsehole who decided to do this to this woman. And the shocking thing is, I can imagine that this isn't a one-off case. Can you imagine that, you've had a relationship with somebody when you're younger and you've done this, you've made the films, you've made the videos, you split up, whatever happens, life goes on, you go your separate ways and you think that's it, right? And then maybe 5-10 years down the line, you go into work one day. You see people whispering and looking at you, nudging people, and you're thinking, what the hell is this all about? What have I done? Can you imagine this? You need to put yourself in the shoes of this person here. I find this absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. And that's why, like I say, as a parent, I think we have some kind of moral responsibility, to bring up our kids to the point where they wouldn't dream of doing this to somebody in the first place, but make them aware, if they're at parties and this kind of thing is going on, be very careful. These things can come back to haunt you. They truly, truly can. Again, I'm not knocking anyone's decision. If you want to make a porno video with somebody that you love or whatever, crack on. Do it. If everyone's consenting and nobody's getting harmed, yeah, cool, good laugh. But then you get arseholes like this. Now, I'll read a couple of quotes from this here. It says, a woman who spoke to BBC's Victoria Derbyshire programme under the pseudonym of Sophie said that she learned about the videos last year when her sister's partner told her he had found the 6 clips on the world's largest porn site. I bet you that caused a bit of an argument in his household. Well, what bloody hell were you doing watching porn sites? Am I not good enough for you? But it says she discovered one such clip was on the top 10 chart at the time with hundreds of thousands of views. Sophie said that she had never given the go-ahead to put them online. Quote, although the videos were taken down, and this is a quote from the BBC website, although the video clips were taken down within a week of her becoming aware of them, the appearance of the clips on the porn website gave somebody the opportunity to create about 100 further clips, and these were subsequently re-uploaded onto the same website. Now, Sophie bemoaned the fact that Pornhub was not very helpful at all in its response to her reporting the situation to the site. After another company, which deals with Pornhub's request to take down videos, also declined to react to Sophie's complaint, she went to the police, but no one has yet been charged. She said that the incident tarnished her new relationship and that her teenage daughter hasn't been the same since. Since she became aware of the video's appearance on the site. Now, Pornhub claimed that it could not find any record of any email from Sophie, yeah, right, as if, in which she asks the site to take down the videos featuring her. Pornhub added that it was currently in touch with Sophie, looking forward to resolving this issue together. Oh yeah, cheers for that, Pornhub. Cheers for that. I mean, here's this woman totally innocent of anything, and yet now her daughter, she's been subjected to this. Can you imagine the crap that her daughter's taking off friends at school? You see, this is why I say that it's like a cautionary tale, folks. I don't tell people what to do. I wouldn't dare do that. But at the same time, not everyone is nice like all of us. And I'm sure all of you in the chat room are very much like me, probably very disgusted at this. It takes a lot to disgust me, but some people nowadays, they truly disgust me. And somebody who would do this to somebody that at one point they claimed they loved, is something far, far wrong. But isn't this kind of symptomatic of the kind of world that we live in nowadays. The fact that there are people that would do this, the fact that people would even consider doing something like this. I don't know. I'm going to go to the chat. I'm going to see what you think in there. I'm also for my new subscriber all the way from Norway. I'm going to look up this alien or kind of space center. I'm about to say alien center. There's an alien center, right? Let's see. Let's see now. I'm going to head into the chat room. Let me bring it up here. So if we come up here, I want to ask you, Sid, is it still like really, really expensive for a pint of beer in Norway? It was atrocious. Sid says, please consider my donation as a pitch in from all in here today. I really enjoy it. To all in chat also, you are awesome. Consider this you're doing. Wow. Sid, you're the kind of person, and all of you in the chat room are the kind of people that restores my faith in humanity. You know, you see stories like the one we just read there about Pornhub, and you see some of the darkness and some of the crap that people get up to in the world. And it's like the SJWs, right? I talk about how they're given a bigger platform. Their views are amplified and propelled to a higher level on social media. And it gives you this false sense that the whole world's going SJW. And it's the same when it comes to, you know, the bad stories out there, the things you hear about people that they shouldn't be doing, the things that make you go, my God, what's going on in some people's heads? But then I come in here to the chat room, I go to TFR, I speak to people I've become close with online, friends online, Nancy, to name several others out there, you know. But what happens is you come away with this false impression that the majority of people are arseholes. The majority of people are bad. But in reality, there's more people like Sid. There's more people like all of you in the chat room in the world than there is bad people. So that's why, you know, even if we don't learn anything on any of these streams, and trust me, some of these streams, we're not going to learn anything because we're just going to have a laugh and a joke and, you know, just chill out. But never forget that I still believe, I honestly, in the bottom of my heart, believe there's more good people out there than there are bad. We just have to be more vocal about it. And we must never, ever, ever, you know, give up. You know, take a look at the news and think, what's the point? You know, if you can't beat them, join them kind of thing. We must never, ever go down that avenue because I think that's the plan. I think they would like all of us to be assholes in this way. You know, just a thought. But Sid, I can't thank you enough for that, man. Just a guy. There's somebody else, another dude, a fellow veteran, and I think it's Texas, just as in. And he's another dude, absolutely salt of the earth from what I can make out. Real guy, you know, real people. Just wants a better world. Just wants to learn. Just hopefully someday make it a better world. And it's going to take people like all of you out there to do it. It's not going to be a government. It's not going to be a YouTube channel. It's going to be you in your real life, in your sphere of influence, the people around you. You know? Kev gets deep and philosophical on TGIFF. Thank goodness it's Freaky Friday, right? You see, this is a weird safe space we're in here, right? But I'm going to go back up. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Armand. Hello, honey. How you doing? I'm sitting with my legs well crossed. Exactly. Kristen says, can you delete your own videos on Pornhub? No idea. Stimuli. We stay tan here. Then we scroll down again. Armand is saying, thank you. I've not watched it yet. I hate my own voice. Armand, you were absolutely brilliant on my show, brother. Absolutely brilliant. We've got Brett saying, in centuries past, did people employ a sketch artist for the same? Jimbo Mac, we've got Pornhub servers must be huge. I wonder who pays for it all. No ads on there, except for more porn. You know what I think happens, Jimbo? I think probably when you're on that site, I've got a funny feeling they're taking your IP address. Maybe there's a way that they can get your email address. They're selling. They're selling data on the back end. Plus, there's a premium service as well, I believe. Not that I ever go to Pornhub or anything like that, right? But I believe there's a pay-per-view service. So yeah, they'll be making billions. I honestly think they'll be making billions, even though it's a free website. How the hell does that work? Right? Same as Facebook. They're selling your data. Okay, do you want people knowing that you're on these porn sites? And then you come further down here, it says revenge porn is illegal here. Revenge porn should be illegal everywhere. It's outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Says, if it's on the internet, it's public and not yours anymore. And like that story said, I mean, even the person that originally uploaded it, that got ripped off the net and re-uploaded God knows how many times. You know, they're just dealing with one website here. I fear that this particular case, if this lady was to get like some IT forensic experts in to trace down all copies of this, it's going to be everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. And that's not going to get rid of the copies that people have downloaded. It says here, if you put your life on video, you deserve to get it stolen. Yes and no. You know, I see where you're coming from there. I do see where you're coming from, Jack. But at the same time, you know, you're in a relationship at the time, and everyone, when they're head over heels in love, you don't think 5-10 years down the line when things have gone wrong, you think you're going to be with that person forever. That sex tape, you've made it, that's fine. That's never going to get out, right? I trust this person. They wouldn't do that to me. So I agree and I disagree with that. Further down, we have got Nancy saying parents are too busy working TV, video games, and cell phones to raise children these days. So well said. And that's a problem with our society, right? Especially more so over here in the advanced, the first world, right? In the West, you know? It's terrible, man. Whoever posted it should get a boot to their face. Justa, totally agree with you. Scrolling down again, dead GPK says that's wild. We also have, I couldn't care. I could care less what people do in the privacy of in their home or privacy, their business. Exactly. What you get up to at home, you know, if you've got somebody that's consenting and into your kind of kinky stuff, have at it. Go for it. If you're adults and it's legal and nobody's getting hurt and harmed and everyone's happy, I don't judge people, man. You do you. Go for it. Do your thing. But then when something like this happens, I don't know, you just shake your head. It says if you're willing to make a video with somebody, then both of you have the ownership of it. That's probably why they didn't take it down. It's the dude's property too. See, it's a very grey area, this, isn't it? Men won't want to be dating her after finding that out. They were both very wrong. He might get himself a job in the porn industry. Those things will definitely come back to haunt you. Don't do it. Well said, Geraldine. And then Paul from Newcastle says, they tell you not to have a TV in the bedroom. They might be watching you. You know, that's the thing nowadays, right? You know, I think it's probably hard to buy one of these smart TVs that isn't watching you. And then I was watching the first episode of a show on Netflix last night. I think it's called Kiss Me First. I think it was on Channel 4 TV over here in the UK. It's about virtual reality and things like that. But in the opening 5 minutes of this show, it wasn't actually that good. I turned it off after about 10 minutes. But what happened was you seen somebody accessing, you know, it looked like a teenage girl's webcam. Just watching what she's doing in her bedroom. It's insane. Utterly insane. And then you've got like all of these kind of Alexas that are listening to what people are doing in the bedroom. We had that whole scandal recently where Microsoft and Amazon were apologizing because private contractors were listening into Skype calls, listening into microphones when you're getting your nasty on. It's unbelievable. It's like we're living in an episode of Black Mirror. You know, Twilight Zone and things like that. Back in the day, the original Twilight Zone, they used to kind of do these, you know, shows that would give you a take on a little twist on real life, on society and things. But I don't think anyone ever imagined. I never imagined. Okay, you've got Orwell's 1984, but if we go back 20 years, if you're old enough, if you go back 20 years, or go back to like 1999, right, and party like it's 1999, did any of us really comprehend that it would get to this level of kind of surveillance and lack of privacy? Privacy's gone. It's absolutely gone. There can be no expectation of privacy anywhere anymore, right? Especially the more smart gadgets we bring into our homes. The more, you know, smart cities, smart meters, and then you got all these smart gadgets watching everything you do. You got Fitbits here. You got your mobile phone line on the dresser. You know, people able to access your microphone and your camera from there. Nobody can access your camera from there, Kev. Many apps have you had where it says it wants to have access to your contact list, to your, you know, your personal messages. It wants to look at your photographs. Wants to access your microphone. Wants to access your camera. And of course, what do we do? We've all done it. Yep. We just want the app, right? Yep. It's crazy. It truly is crazy. Oh, Brett Munson, the Amish party like it's 1899. Now that's the funniest joke of the day, okay? Tessa says they're desperate if they're watching My Wrinkly Bits. And Tessa, you know, the thing is, the fact that they are able to watch, not just you, but any of us, the fact that the potential is there for that to be done, that's already going too far, in my opinion. And I remember years ago when they had a pilot program over here in the UK where they said they were going to put like CCTV cameras into like sheltered housing. It was like government assisted, you would probably call it over in the US, but social services. They were going to put CCTV cameras in people's homes. And people went, oh, hell no. Rightly so. They went, get to. You ain't doing that. You ain't putting cameras in my home. And then, but here we are now, say what, 20 years later, where we're buying the cameras ourselves. I'm talking to you on a webcam right now, and how do I know who's accessing that any time of the day? Many of you have children out there who have laptops. And they're in the room using the laptop, and I'm not saying your child's doing anything bad in the laptop. They're doing their homework. They're learning something. Who's watching them? Literally think about that. Who's watching them? There's that famous kind of thing where Zuckerberg had the webcam taped over on his laptop and things like that. And if you haven't done that, folks, if you haven't done that yet, do it. I know it's one of the most no-brainer pieces of advices in the world from old Kevboy here, but still so many people don't do it. And you think, oh, well, the lights aren't on my webcam. It's not on. Okay, whatever. They're not watching you. Right, if you think that, if you're comfortable with that, cool. But I don't think you can have any expectation of any privacy anywhere anymore. I truly, truly don't. And that's got to be a bad thing. And the world we're moving into, I don't know, folks. It's just bizarre. Bizarre, bizarre, bizarre. Now, Sid says he sent me something on Twitter. I'll check it in a moment. We've got knowing, and this is from Valiant, knowing you're getting spied on with your devices like computers, laptops, tablets, and phones. Don't you think it wouldn't happen with another device is delusional? Exactly. Exactly. So somebody's saying being civil in chat. Absolutely. Absolutely. We do like that. Further down, police raided Kermit the Frog's lily pad last night and found hundreds of naked pictures. Oh, Brassneck, you're at it again, dude. Here we go. We've got the jokes flying now. Haven't had a TV since 2014. Don't miss it at all. All entertainment info I have on the internet. However, something must be done about censorship. Mary, I would say that's a good thing. However, you can't believe 99% of the stuff you see on the internet. And I know that you can select where you go on the internet. Me, I'm one of these people that still watches TV. I binge watch TV shows, and I find it gives you a good fictional take on some of the stuff that's going on in the world today. And everyone's got their own kind of thoughts on that. Yes, it's programming. I get that. However, you're probably right, Mary, in the fact that it's not just you watching the TV anymore. They're watching you. But then on the PC, they're watching everything you do as well. There's no escaping it, you see. Unless you go and live with the Amish, where you're not going to get this technology. I think that's about the only option. Do you think it's going to get to the point, folks, where you have like communities that are like outliers? I don't know what they'll call us. Luddites probably, where we just go absolutely Stone Age. We'll just do away with the tech. I think that's going to happen. I do. And I think when the neural link and people getting hooked up into the hive mind Borg becomes a thing, I think it's going to happen even more. We're really rapidly moving into a sci-fi future where people can physically body hack. They'll be able to biohack themselves. They'll be able to put chips in themselves. We've seen somebody with a Tesla car recently, right? She's got the RFID under her skin, and she just gets close to her car and it starts. That's the start of it. Crazy. It is. It's like living in some dystopic episode of a sci-fi kind of madness. And then Fred says, some people like to be watched. They do, yeah. Do you think, Fred, that remember when Big Brother started in the UK? I think we were one of the first countries to do it. It was either here or Australia, but you had this kind of reality TV, the initial Big Brother thing, where you had millions of people applying to go and live in a house that was wired for sound and cameras, and people would watch it 24/7. And those first, not so much now, but remember the first season of Big Brother? It was massive. And I'll admit to you, the first season, even I watched some of it. I remember what stopped me watching Big Brother was I was on night shift at the time. And I was sitting on my night shift, had the telly on, and it was night vision cameras in the bedroom, and there was like 10 of them in the bedroom, all separate beds, nothing nasty going on. And I'm sitting there thinking, I need to go to the toilet, but I might miss something. And then a little voice in my head said, are you a bit of a dick? What are you going to miss? These people are lying sleeping. And that's when it dawned on me, whoa, there's something really, really nefarious about this program. And I totally turned it off after that. I totally turned it off. Did not ever participate in it again. We watched those first ones, and didn't we? Big Brother? Yeah, we did. Yeah. But that was the point for me where I realized there's something going on here. There's something bigger. This isn't entertainment. And I wonder if that's led to this whole almost desire to be watched. So Nana says, I used to be afraid to take my phone with me when I soak in the tub. Now I figure, well, if they are that hard up, and she's laughing about it. Absolutely agree with you. Absolutely. Now then, we also have Stimulate saying, downloaded some cracked software at work once to try it out before I bought. Ran to the restroom, and when I came back, there was a full screen porn on my monitor. And that's the thing when you download, be it movies, be it anything. Remember, nothing comes for free. And you download something, you think maybe it's an episode or something, maybe it's a cracked copy of Photoshop, and before you know it, like Stimulate says there, your computer is absolutely, it's hijacked. The Trojans get in there, and that's you. Done. Now I'm going to take a look at this space center in Norway before we go today. And while I do that, or before I do that, would it be okay with all of you out there? Because I would love to go and just grab a quick cup of coffee. Would that be okay with you? I'm sure you've got plenty to talk about in the chat room. I'll only literally be 2 minutes, folks, okay? Literally 2 minutes. And I'll be back with you, and we'll take a look at the space station, or the space center, sorry, that's over in Norway. And again, I'm really happy you sent me this, Sid, because I've always taken a keen interest in Norway ever since I've been there. It's like Scotland on steroids. I said that the other day. I'm not going to repeat myself. Beautiful country, beautiful people, both the men and the women. And Is it still a thing in Norway where you can't like punch somebody with a clenched fist? I remember when we went over there, they told us, don't get into any fights because if you punch somebody with a fist in Norway, it's the equivalent of hitting somebody with a deadly weapon. And I seen a fight one night, and it was like big Scandinavian Viking type dudes, and they were pulling hair, and they were biting, and they were scratching and slapping. It looked hilarious, man. But Sid, I'll let Sid kind of tell you about that. I'll go and get a coffee. Everyone in the chat room agrees I can go and get a coffee. I'll go and make Anna coffee as well. And folks, I'll be right back, okay? So I'll leave you with some cool tunes, and I'll be back. Awesome. Thank you for chilling with me today. We've still got a couple of things to touch on. I'll look at this Space Center, and yeah. It's getting ready for Freaky Friday, right? Who knows where we might go from here. go. We are back. Never fear, Baker's near. Get some light on in here, right? There we go. There we go. Back. Right then. Still got 120 people here. I thought I probably would have lost half of you there. Thanks a lot, guys, girls, aliens. Now I'm just going to go to Twitter right now, really quickly. Johnny Whistles sent me something as well. I don't know if Johnny's watching or not, but he sent me a little story that's quite appropriate there. Give me 2 seconds again, folks. Okay, 2 seconds. I'm going to line these stories up, okay? Save you sitting here watching me do all this kind of crap. Hang on. Playlist. We'll get into a bit of this one.
is closely watching a huge asteroid which is set to come close to Earth next month. Asteroid 2000.
Okay. Now then, Sid in the chat room, you have been so generous to me today. You said you'd put something for me over on Twitter. What's your name on Twitter, dude? Just so I can narrow this down, because I've got heaps of notifications and I couldn't pick it out straight away there. So I'll wait for Sid to tell me. And a big shout out to everyone who's turning up. And yes, ZX81, I have got new tunes. I've been dipping my toe into the copyright free library over at YouTube. They provide us content creators with thousands, absolutely thousands of tunes. And yes, remember, folks, if you want to get my attention, really catch my eye, you need to put at and then the, and you'll get the option to click my name, The Kev Baker Show. Now, I know if you're on a mobile device, that sometimes doesn't work. I can't do it on my iPhone. But if you're on a PC, a laptop, and my Twitter address is, and I'll put it in the chat room for people here. I am at Kev_Baker Show. I think that's it. So it's PSN. Right, I'll have a check just now, dude. Did you tag me in it? Yeah? Yeah, let us see now. Let's see. Right, I can't see where you've tagged me in something here. Hang on. I'm going to add you. Hang on a minute then. PSN Vesuvius. PSN Vich. There it is. Stain from Norway. Follow. Right, now hang on then. Let's see. Okay, see if you... Like, if you want to post it on your Twitter now, I'll be able to, like, see it on your Twitter feed, Sid. Jessica says, Kev Baker, see, this is how it's so much easier. Thank you, Jessica. I'm such a fan. I'm freaking out every night I lay at night. Don't freak out. Never freak out. Never ever freak out. Doesn't matter what's going on in this world, they want you to freak out, okay? Don't freak out. Yeah, sure, there's some real crap in the world. There is. But at the same time, there's a lot of good stuff going on in the world as well, okay? And I hope, Jessica, over time, when you're in here with all of us, right, you're going to learn that as much as there seems to be scary stuff going on in the world, the important thing is that most of it, most of it is probably overhyped at times, especially if you're getting most of your stuff here from the internet. I used to be freaked out my box every single day, 24/7. I used to think the world was going to end once a month. And then I came to realize, you know, that the internet has a habit of amplifying things, making things seem worse than they truly, truly are, okay? So, said, I really wish I knew. Right, I've got another. There we go. There we go. Awesome. I've got it now. Perfect. Thank you, brother. Right then, I'm going to bring this up. Where we go. I'll bring this onto the main screen. See? I'm loving this. This is how we roll. This is how we roll. Awesome. So let me bring this on to all of you here. I'll make this a little bit bigger so people can see it better. And this here's a video, I think. It's going to be in Norwegian, so that's pretty cool. It's going to be a video. I hope it's not copyrighted, but we'll go with it anyway. We'll give it a go. Okay, right. I'll close that. Wait a minute. I'll come off this screen just now because that's going to be an advert. So I'll mute the site to start with. I'll let the advert play out. Right? See? Clever me. I'm not getting done by no pizza advert. Not that I've got anything against pizza, folks. I'm not one of those people. Nope. But you know that adverts are probably copyrighted. So, okay. So we've done that there. Right. That's another advert coming on. Pesky adverts. Imagine people putting adverts on their videos. Wouldn't see me doing that, right? You know that when you're doing a live stream, though, there is an option for me to really, really annoy you people and put videos on all the time. Oh, wow, dude. What the hell am I looking at here? Oh, folks, wait till you see this. Oh. Sid, me and you are going to get on very, very well, my brother. Sid, before I play this, is this the place that I was talking about, that valley where a lot of mysterious lights are seen? And remember, folks, Norway, it's a bit of a no-brainer to say that it's the home of the Norway Spiral, right? If any of you haven't seen what the Norway Spiral was, wow, maybe it's about time to revisit the Norway Spiral later on Freaky as well. But let's take a look at this, okay? And I'm waiting to see if Sid tells us where this is from. It's from Tolfja. Okay, so I'm going to bring it on the screen now. Wait, you see this, folks. Well, let's see what we can make of this. Right, I'm going to play the video now. What the heck is that? Holy shamoly. What is that? Anne's taking a look here. My boy's taking a look. Not very often I'm lost for words, by the way. Not very often we'll get some music on in the background. So I'm taking this as like 300 kilometers from somewhere, right? What the heck is that? Right, so we've got that happening in Norway. Now I'm going to Google the actual space center that you put me onto. Right then, let's bring this over. Andøya Space Center. Let's have a look. We'll go to the... In fact, no, we won't go there. We'll go to the website for it. Let's have a look. Andoya Space Center, ASC, is a service provider for sounding rockets, balloons, unmanned aircraft, and scientific ground-based instrumentation communities. It was established in 1962, and our headquarters is located on the island of Andoya, 2 degrees north of the Arctic Circle, in the heart of the northern Norway, and directly beneath the Aurora Borealis. And that was one of the things I absolutely loved when I was over in Norway. Absolutely loved it. Somebody's asking me about how they can contact me to share their story about twin flames and spiritual warfare. You know, when it comes to twin flames, we've got our very own twin flames over at TFR, Chris and Cherie Geo. Spiritual warfare, liking it. If you want to contact me, Jessica, I'll get you a link to my Twitter profile. Give me 2 seconds. 2 secs, folks, and we'll get into this Andoya place in a second. Hang on now. Find this here. I'll drop this link into the chat room. Hang on. Now I've lost the chat room. Where are we? I'll find it again. I'll find you. Don't worry. There you are. Okay, so there's the Twitter handle in there. That's my Twitter account. Just go on there. And I've got my direct messages. You can direct message me in there as well. So I'm going to play this video again, right? Because I want to see this again. This is amazing. Now, this was nothing like any Aurora Borealis I seen when I was over there. I don't know if this is something projected into the sky. When you see it closer in a minute, does look as if there's like some kind of trails coming off it. Something. That's bizarre. I've got no idea what that is. No idea. And then you've got these green things emerging. I mean, the Aurora Borealis, right? It's like the solar wind and things hitting off the magnetosphere. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You tell me. Sid, you're up there all the time. I mean, is this something you would normally see? I don't think so. It's weird. That looks like they're dropping things there. See how they're dropping? Oh, hang on. Stop that. I don't want to play it too many. Oh, there we go. We're in another advert now. Hang on. Let me get it back. That's bizarre, folks. Really, really bizarre. Not very often Kev Baker is stumped when it comes to something that he's looking at on YouTube, or when it comes to... Somebody says rockets. Yep. Chemtrail test. Gas. Yep. Yeah, they do. I remember they done a test like that over at NASA as well. And they used lithium to measure the direction of the winds and things like that. Let's come back here. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Man, can you imagine you didn't know what was going on, though? Imagine you had no clue what was going on. You started seeing that in the sky. You would think we're getting invaded by aliens, right? You truly would. But yeah, we come back over. So I take it this came from this Andoya Space Center. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. Now, I'm going to have to go in a minute, folks, because I need to go and get something to eat before Freaky Friday and stuff like that. And the wee man's just come in, and I've obviously got to catch up with him and tell him about what he can and can't do when he's dating women when he's older, after the stuff we've been talking about today on the show. But there's one more story I want to take a look at, and it was Johnny Whistles that sent me this and said, I'm going to get really, really much more into this on a stream probably next week or something, once I've had a time to dig into it, read into all of this stuff more. But we're staying space related for the last story of the day, all right? And if we come here, it says an asteroid collision with Earth ruled out by NASA, and hours later, it smashes into the Caribbean. What? An asteroid which came crashing into Earth, and NASA had no idea it was coming, reiterates the need to keep a closer eye on the sky in case of massive space rock comes hurtling towards our planet. This is what always gets me about NASA and space and things like that. We'll take a little listen to this here, see what it's saying. I've muted the site, so I'll unmute it.
Earth next month. Asteroid 2000 QW7 is the size of the world's tallest building.
Okay, that's another one that's coming into the planet soon. But it's a small asteroid shot towards Earth at 14.9 kilometers per second. And NASA admitted it did not know it was coming. Now, hang on a minute. The space rock known as 2019 MO was just, blow that up a bit, was just 3 meters wide and exploded when it hit the planet's atmosphere on July the 22nd above the Caribbean. But the way it approached unexpectedly reaffirms the need for more eyes on the sky. NASA said when we first spotted it, 2019 MO was about 310,000 miles away from Earth, farther out than the orbit of the moon. This was roughly the equivalent of spotting something the size of a gnat from a distance of 310 miles. So it says David Farnocchia, a scientist at NASA Center for Near-Earth Object Studies, said asteroids this size are far smaller than what we are tasked to track. They're so small they would not survive passing through our atmosphere to cause damage to the Earth's surface. The problem was, NASA said, the space agency could not determine where the space rock was heading. How can they not do that when, they've got all the money in the world, they've got all the satellites in the world? You would think by now we would have a pretty good handle on where these rocks are going and how many are out there and things like that. And I get it. Space is unpredictable. It's huge. It's vast. It's space, right? But look what it done to the dinosaurs, You need to be really careful about these things, and you would think there would be a more effective way of monitoring these things, right? I would think anyway, in this day and age, although a story like this can be used for NASA and people like Trump to justify more money. He's launching the Space Force soon, right? That's getting funded right now. So I imagine that something like this is going to play into that. It says the body had been spotted only 4 times in just under half an hour, which was not enough information to determine where the object came from or where it was headed. Just last month, the European Space Agency said it too missed a near-Earth object recently, calling for better asteroid watch. So listen, folks, I'm almost out of time here because family things to do, dinner to get, real world to get back to. I'll dive into the chat room. I'm going to say cheerio to everyone before we go. So, and I see Richard Dolan is live. I know a lot of people here will want to go and watch Richard Dolan. That's perfectly cool. Jessica says, I will wait as long as it takes. I've experienced and have knowledge of prophetic proportions. You get in touch with me, not a problem, but I can't promise to get back to you right away. That's all. I just can't promise right away. So let me scroll back up here. Rockets, and that was the thing we were seeing in the sky. Annabelle, that place makes war weaponry and communication devices. Gaz says they've done it before. NASA did it a while back. Yeah, they used lithium chemtrails. I remember that. And then we go to, maybe it's the government weather maker, aerosol injection testing. Absolutely just a guy. That is the scientific term for what we're seeing there. Brett Munson says blue chicken, brown cow, or blue chicken, blue cow. Doesn't have the same ring to it. No, it doesn't. Jessica says the story is something Bill Bean would love to know. I'm going to create a Twitter account. This is beyond deep stuff. I think if you even go to my about page on the channel here on YouTube, Jessica, I think you can get my email from there as well. Kristen says, only on Kev's show do you go from Pornhub to mysteries in the sky. Exactly. You never know where we're going. ZX says, the light from Venus and swamp gas plug probably +4 weather balloons. Tessa, it's blue chickens Darwinized. Brett Munson, pounder donuts make cops look like cokeheads. Stimulate Norway, probably much safer. Just a guy, it got acquired. Don't forget my name. I won't forget your name, Jessica. Not at all. Yep, things to do. I've got nothing done. Great show. Thank you, Jeremy. Fred says, can you eat during the broadcast? That's what we do. I'd love to, but I need some family time as well, dude. And then we've got Jimbo saying, be really scared of an asteroid that no one's seen. Exactly. You know, that's the one you got to watch out for, right? I know it's like a paradox, right? How can you watch out for something that hasn't been seen? That'll be the one that gets us. But it says here, Armand, more like spying devices to watch us down here. Wouldn't surprise me. Nothing as it seems. Saying sorry. Don't say sorry. Richard Dolan's a legend. Go and watch Richard Dolan, dude. I won't take offence at that. Absolutely not. Annabelle says, good show, enjoyed it. We've also got see you later, getting ready for Freaky Friday. Pure Oxygen, Flammable. Scrolling down again. Lothar says, Iron Brew, how's it going, my Scottish friend? I'm doing good, Lothar. And listen, folks, I'd love to take more time reading out the chat, but like I say, I have got to go now. I've gone well over my time today. Every stream gets longer and longer, and that's because we're having more and more fun. We've gone from the sublime to the ridiculous today to the cool stuff at the end with the space stuff and the aerosol injections and asteroids and all that. And if this isn't enough for you, I'll be back later on with Joe Joseph, Scotty Lopez. Who knows who else might turn up because it's TGIFF. Thank goodness it's Freaky Friday. Get that on tfrlive.com, and that's at midnight in the UK, 7 p.m. on the East Coast, 4 p.m. on the West Coast. And because we have got Joe Joseph getting a new webcam today, keep your eyes open. Maybe you might see me putting up a live stream later on today. Can't promise, but I think it might be happening, folks. So until later, let me let you get all back about your business today. Sorry for taking so much time out of your day. I've loved it. I hope you love it. Keep it real. Keep your minds open, but not the point till you get scared. Don't get freaking out. Whoever it was that said they're freaking out, please don't, okay? Don't. And just because your mind's open, it doesn't mean you have to let your brain fall out. So until next time, we're out of here. If I can find the music, that is.